And welcome back to Who Will Win. Today's Who Will Win comes to us from April, May. 2 months back to back. And yet it could be an actual name. Who asked the question? Who will win the fight? Stan Smith or Delgado? From Millie and Mandy. This is actually, I like, by the way, the two images I used for the thumbnail. Just instead of them both being badass, just seem like, they're both kind of clueless, dumb badasses in their own way. See, Stan works for the CIA, and Delgado is like the foremost supernatural exterminator on the planet. But really, it just comes down to who's more competent versus who's more incompetent. That's what I think would really, determine the fight. There are some other X factors. For example, physicality-wise, Delgado is actually in much better shape than Stan is. Stan is constantly depicted not in like the worst physical shape a guy could be in. He's clearly still very physically able, but he does carry a gut on him. He does, he can, while he is CIA trained and all that, he's still been outmatched very often by sometimes the most stupid of opponents, like a lemur wanting to commit suicide. But Delgado is always actually clearly in like, maybe not peak. He's clearly an older guy with the 5 o'clock shadow and all that, but he's clearly in much better shape overall than Stan is. And to be fair, he's fighting opponents on a much more higher plane than Stan. Stan just generally fights terrorists, evil people, all of that. With some, sometimes advanced technology, but most of the time it's just, the standard fare of our world. Whereas Delgado fights the supernatural. He fought, Grim, the goddess. Oh God, the goddess of chaos. He fights. He fights the supernatural, and at one point, he dated the goddess of chaos. It was a very, dysfunctional relationship, and I believe it was theorized or stated that he did it because he created so much order in his world that there were no more supernatural entities left to take on. Like, he was that good at his job, despite being kind of, wacky and comical for what it is. His fake hand can turn into multiple things: ectoplasmic cannon, knives, a net. Kind of, you name it, he most likely has it in there. Stan just usually carries a standard firearm, although he does have access to all the CIA's, equipment when he needs it. But when it comes down to it, again, I go by competent versus incompetent. Who is more competent? Who is the least competent? And the thing is, despite the fact how Stan comes off in his normal life, as an agent, he's actually not bad at all. Like, he's a very competent agent. The question is, like, in certain circumstances, what's the best way to say this sentence? Who outcompetences who? Who's more competent than the other in overall circumstances? And in my money, it's got to be Delgado. In my mind, for my money, it's got to be Delgado. Now, the reason I say that is because that's, when you really look at that statement, it's believed that he created so much order that he was out of a job. Whereas the CIA can't fix the world. Like, let's go into real. The CIA, for all the good the CIA might be able to do, it's still incapable of stopping, the negative, everything in the world. It's not, it alone can't bring order. Whereas Delgado alone kind of did. So these two being in a fight, Stan's got to fire the firearm. Delgado's hand can do all these wacky things. And he creates a shield, and he creates a smoke bomb. And, he disarms Stan at one point, and they get into an actual fight. Now, Stan might have the better training. We don't actually know what Delgado's training really is like. He's clearly capable of going toe-to-toe with supernatural elements. My guess is he's more of a freestyle guerrilla fighter, but he's still clearly got some sort of formal training in there. Stan's probably got the better formal training, but being in better shape and physically gives Delgado a physical edge, which helps even out the playing field. And then his trick hand ultimately come in, probably shoot Stan in the gut or trap him in like some goo or something like that. Electric him, shock him, freeze him, whatever. It's his false hand that basically saves the day for Delgado in this fight overall. So I put my money on Delgado. You got to say it like that too. Delgado. Oh, that's Delgado. I just like how he sniffs his bit. Just, oh, God, Delgado. Anyway, So I got Haas Delgado in this fight. Who do you got, though? Stan Smith or Haas Delgado? I can see a reasonable argument for Stan, though. Absolutely. My money, Joe, just goes on Haas Delgado more times than not. Who do you got, though? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell for to be notified. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.